Hi everybody, Don Giannetti, lighting-essentials.com and project52prosystem.com. I am right in the middle of enrolling for the next Project 52, and we're almost full from my newsletter. So we're right down to haven't even made it live for the public yet, but we're only going to have a handful, 3, 4, 5 spaces left max. And there's been some talk about the way I teach Project 52. It's been good talk, so we'll clear that up right now. But there was been some questions like, why do you do it that way? Why aren't you specializing in one thing? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think specialization's overhyped. I think there's a place for specialization. I think there's a market for specialization. That market is probably Manhattan. But I think there's a case to be made that a photographer who can do more than one or two things is a photographer that's going to maintain something very important in the world of photography. We call it cash flow. You need to be able to shoot more than one thing if you live in any town other than Manhattan. Maybe Chicago. But damn sure LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, Toledo, Omaha, Fredericksburg, St. Petersburg. These are places where photographers are working. And if you're like, oh, I only do fill in the blank one line, not going to work. I heard Chase Jarvis speaking this morning, and it sort of crystallized in my mind why I teach a wide variety of lessons in Project 52 and why I push my photographers to step out of their comfort zones as often as possible. I think for me, the best way to describe it is leg day at the gym, okay? Obviously, if you saw my legs, you'd say, well, that's not something you know a lot about, Don, but I do a little bit. I do. Leg day at the gym. The goal is to make your legs stronger. They're muscles. Keep in mind that creativity is a muscle too. Those muscles in your legs, you think, wow, I want to get my legs to be stronger. Great. We want creativity to be stronger too. So when you go to leg day at the gym, you say, wow, I love leg presses. I just love leg presses. So I'm going to go to the gym and I'm only going to do leg presses. I mean, they help. They're the thing I like. I'm specializing in leg presses. You going to have strong legs? No, not necessarily. You might have strong quads or whatever it is that leg presses build, but you're not going to have strong legs overall because you didn't work anything else. And when you're doing those other things, like the ones where the little bar comes down on your knees and you like pick your knees up like that, oh God, I hate those things. But I got to do them because I have to make that part of my leg strong as well. Same with creativity. You only do one thing. You're only exercising one part of your creativity muscle. And I am absolutely convinced that creativity is maybe not a real muscle, but it acts like a muscle. And that if you don't exercise it, you don't use it, you don't keep it in good condition, it'll fail you when you need it most. Creativity isn't a place to be. It's not a goal. It's not a thing. Creativity isn't like, well, I wasn't creative until March 3rd at about 2 in the afternoon and boom, there it was. Now, creativity is a journey. It's a constant journey. Every day you get up, you get a little more creative, or you exercise that creativity muscle, or you push a little harder, you step outside your comfort zone, you find something to do that's different. And then that, with your creative muscle working in good condition, can extrapolate out into all kinds of things. So I could give you a food shot to do. And maybe you go, Don, I'm not really into food shots. I got it. I don't care. Do it. Do a food shot. Do the best damn food shot you can, because when you do the food shot, you're exercising that creativity muscle in an area it's not used to be being exercised, or we're calling upon visual places and visual literacy that isn't necessarily what we normally do, and that helps build the strength of the creative muscle. Then when you go back to do a portrait on Saturday, maybe you're better at the portrait because you've kept that muscle alive. You went to leg day and you did your presses, your leg presses, and you did the thing where you stand on your toes, and you did the lifting up, and you did the thing where you do this, and you've really exercised those legs. The next day you have to go on a photo shoot where you have to walk 5 miles. Well, your legs are going to be a whole lot better than if you only did leg presses. Because that's not going to help your calves, not going to help your, I don't even know if I know what I'm talking about, but you get the point. Creativity is this flow, and we use the word flow, this flow of energy that helps us make connections, patterns, systems. It helps us see the world in ways that maybe we hadn't seen it before. And I'm a really, really big believer that creativity is inside every one of us. There's no such thing as a non-creative person. There are people who don't believe they're creative. There are people who take their creativity and stuff it into a box for whatever reason. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's concern of being made fun of. I know that when we're in school, little children are creative as hell. Hey, you want to see my, or hey, kids, show me your pictures. And they're going to come line up and show me their pictures. They're proud of them. Do that in a room full of adults. Hey guys, show me your pictures. And it's like, oh, my stuff's not good enough. Or no, I don't want to show my pictures. I don't really have anything. Where did that crap come from? Well, I could do a whole 10 hours on how the public school and traditional schooling just beats creativity right out of us, just absolutely pummels it right away from us. We're not going to do that. I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes, and I don't want to get into how terrible school is, traditional school, because it is really terrible. And if you're thinking about going to art school, seriously thinking about going to art school next year, maybe you're graduating from high school and you're thinking, oh, I ought to go to an art school. Call me. You can find my number. I'm out there. You call me and we'll talk. I won't tell you that you shouldn't go. I'm just going to tell you flat out what you're not going to get. Anyway, what you do get is creativity beaten out of you or formalized into some sort of library that you pull from your head so that you can do the same old crap everybody else has done. And I think you can try new things. So in Project 52, we have 52 weeks, 52 assignments, real world assignments. And Monday next week, you might get the assignment and it's architecture for the week. And the following week might be food. And the following week might be a business portrait. Just like if you had a studio in Toledo, you're not going to get just one thing. You're going to get this mix of stuff. And you go out and you do it, and you don't like architecture. Okay? You don't have to like architecture. And I don't care if after the class you never do another architecture shot. That isn't the point. The point is it's one of those muscles, it's one of those things that we're doing on leg day to boost our creativity, to boost the synapses, to boost the connections that we make in our brains, and to help our creative muscle get stronger. And when it gets stronger, we do get into a state of flow when we're shooting. Flow is when everything is just coming through you. It's when you know your subject and you know what you're doing so well that it becomes second nature to you, and you start to focus on just the moment of doing what you're doing in photography, capturing something. The gear, the techniques, all of that, they're just flowing right through you because you've exercised. And if you've exercised that creative muscle, you've got more ideas than you possibly could put down on a card or two. Hope you stick around. See you next time.